had my own Christian hip hop radio show at University of Michigan back in 2000, 2001. So I come from there.
You playing gospel gangsters?
Gospel gangsters. Well, it was a heavy cross movement back then. Here's the thing, though. It was weird because
grits and cross movement.
That's when I learned radio. Even then, though, I could only play a certain amount of songs that I had. I had to play stuff that was the radio station had.
Program director.
And in order for me to get the cross movement, I had to write the cross movement records a letter, tell them to send the music to the station so they can put and they can improve it. Then I had to play a certain. So I played a lot of Christian rock music. I played what was their names? But it was from Christian. I had to play. It was Christian metal because that's all they had Christian. Because I only played nothing but gospel music back then. So it was either Christian metal or gospel gangsters or cross movement. I played cross movement,
True
gospel
Life.
gangster.
Yeah.
True Life. Yeah.
True Life. Yeah.
True Life was my favorite member of the cross movement.
My favorite member of cross movement, not to get into the whole thing, is Ambassador. Deuce, you know it. You already know, Deuce, you already know that he's my favorite. So, of course.
He had a dope solo album.
Oh, yeah. Oh, your Thesis?
That was dope.
See, I know. Why do I know all of this?
But True Life was my guy because he was a producer as well.
Yeah.
And I always let a producer. I'm a producer. He produced. And he left the group for a while. Now it's Harper, but then he came back to the group.
We gotta tell this. Y'all gotta tell this story. I'm tired of y'all not telling this story. So
it was True Life was
really happened.
True Life and Fanatic.
That was my favorite.
Ambassador. I mean, there was a whole bunch more though. Earthquake. Cruz Cordero.
No, Enoch is the one who died, right?
No. I think Earthquake died.
Was it Enoch? Okay. That was Enoch.
No, Enoch didn't. Enoch is maybe it was Enoch.
I think it was Enoch.
I think it was Enoch. Yeah. I think Enoch died. Cruz Cordero. They were like the beginning.
I forget about Cruz Cordero. I forgot about Cruz Cordero.
You forget about Cruz Cordero.
He was dope.
Cruz Cordero was dope. That whole House of Representative video was.
I forgot about Cruz Cordero. Wow.
And the only reason why I know, and not to put all my business out there, is because two of my closest homies were the main producers for Cross Movement. So Hot Productions. That's why I'm like, y'all got to tell y'all story.
Who?
So Hot. JR and Nav.
Oh, JR. Okay.
Yeah, JR and Nav. Yeah. They were the duo for.
Didn't one of them pass away too?
No.
Okay.
Dude, y'all they did not.
If I kill everybody else.
Oh man, that'll be heartbreaking because those are like.
You should. I thought one of the producers passed away from Cross Movement.
Fish. DJ Official did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Fish passed. DJ Official passed. And he was one of the main producers for Cross Movement too.
Yeah. Okay. I know I'm not crazy.
Yeah. No. You ain't crazy. No, you were talking about So Hot, but I know JR and Nav because I talked to them. I talked to Nav a couple days ago. But those two of my closest homies are JR and Nav, who produced a lot of stuff for Flame, Cross Movement, Lecrae, Trip Lee. Matter of fact, JR produced Lecrae's Driving with My Top Down, listening to this Jesus music. I
kind of broke away right around.
That was when Lecrae first started.
Yeah. When they had the 112 click.
Oh, yeah.
That was kind of like the last of me being in Christian music. That was kind of the last little wave.
Yeah, that was Tadashi.
When they first came out.
Trip Lee.
When they first came out. Because they had the whole, because they did an idea that I always wanted to do. They did they had I think songs based off Bible books.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite albums that they did.
I was going to do that.
I had a mission. I wanted to do the whole Bible. I wanted to do the whole Bible.
Yo, that's crazy.
A series of albums. I wanted to have like a Genesis album where every chapter would be a song. Like I had this all mapped out. And when they did that, I'm like, oh, I wanted to do that.
That mug was dope.
That's
my homie Nab was on that album.
I couldn't have did it, but when they did that, I was like, And I was a youth minister at the time. So I used to always give away music. So that was kind of like their the 112 click first album. I used to get out of the way.
No, 116.
I knew it was something like that. I don't know, man. I forget. That was a whole
Romans 116.
A whole nother
but
a whole nother Brian. That was a whole nother world.
Another Brian.
Yeah, but I remember that. But Cross Movement though, them jokers, man, that had such a strong impact on me. Like
me too, because
a strong impact. Freshman year in college when I discovered Cross Movement. Freshman year in college.
Yeah.
And that first album, where they were standing outside with the Timberlands on.
What you know about this? Huh? What?
No.
Oh,
that's like second or third album. No, that wasn't the first album was like way underground.
Oh, yeah.
It's a Thriller in Manila. Jesus Christ.
Yes, sir.
That was the first album right there. That was
anyway. We talking about cross movement and everything.
Yeah, they had a big like all the Lecrae and stuff, all that. Now cross movement was like
cross movement doesn't exist anymore.
No, I'm saying, but it wouldn't be no like Lecrae.
It wouldn't be
cross movement.
You wouldn't have Lecrae.
And even I don't want to go
cross movement.
I want to go on my soapbox now, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
I want to know what the soapbox is. We ain't got to talk about it right now, but I do want to know
right there
off camera. But
I do want to know what that is.
Cross movement, they were my guys, man. They I rock with them heavy, man.
Yeah, cross movement.
Cross movement. I hated that song. What you know about this? What? I hated that song.
Let's stick to the text. Oh my God, that was my jam.
That's when they started to fall off and they started to try to embrace other styles of rap.
That was my jam right there.
Good album though. Album was dope.
Yeah.
But that single,
Deuce is my favorite rapper out of.
He like them. What? I'm like, what are y'all?
Actually, doing? Fanatic is a dope.
Fanatic was my favorite rapper.
Even though Fanatic is no longer a believer.
He not.
No.
Get out of here.
No, Fanatic walked away from Christianhood.
The Fanatic.
Oh wow. Yeah. Go look on YouTube. You'll see the whole video.
That's the reason why I don't take a lot of that Christian stuff serious no more, man. Because jokers, they're not serious. They just this is the reason why. See, I never stopped being. I'm still a believer. Like I would never stop. I would never denounce my belief in my Lord and Savior. But it's just funny how these people who were so gun-ho with judging everybody, now they don't believe no more.
He's like, I see you.
He's like, I see you.
Yeah, I see that.
But it's all over YouTube. You can go look.
No, I didn't want to look at it, man.
He did a whole video.
I don't want nothing Joe got to say now.
Trust me, we watched it. We looked at it. We called each other, had conversation about it. We were like, what you think about this? And then it was.
But he was the most,
wow.
To my judgmental. Here's the thing. I don't want to get too about the church, but
don't get me talking about the judgmental thing because
here's the thing though, because I was a part of
because it's biblical. But anyway,
I was a part of a certain group of churches known as the charismatic, and a lot of people in that camp would judge us. It was really weird because they would judge our church and our belief systems. You know, with the whole faith healing and all that, and the prosperity teachers, they would judge us heavily and say we weren't real Christians, real heavy. But it was weird though. But if you had a bag for them, they'll come before them at the church. So if you had a bag,
see now you're like y'all hypocrites.
They'll show up,
right?
Trust me, because I had the budgets. I was booking. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again,
this reminds me of something that I heard today about with Kirk Franklin. And I was like, you know what?
A lot of that. That's hypocritical, man. A lot of that's hypocritical. And like I said, my story is well documented. I'm not famous, but people who know me, my friends know my story real well. People who know me know that I was a youth minister and I literally walked away. Not for my belief. I've never stopped being a Christian ever, but I walked away from the organized church. I couldn't take it no more. I kind of walked away. But I've never stopped being a believer. How could you ever say you were a believer in the first place if you just not believe one day? That's kind of weird to me.
Oh, you know,
it's kind of weird.
Actually, it does happen though.
No, it happens a lot.
It happens a lot.
These people who get to these high positions in Christianity.
It happens a lot.
Like the guy who wrote the book, I Kiss Dating Goodbye. You know, he wrote a book about like not having sex till marriage and about how you're not supposed to have a girlfriend and all this stuff, or boyfriend and all this. He the biggest person against Christianity now, and it's crazy to me.
It happens.
That's the reason why you can't rely on these big mega people in the Christian world, because they be hypocrites all the time in these churches, man. They feed you all this stuff, and a lot of the times,
you be going off over there. Look, he adjusted himself. He adjusted himself. He like, I'm ready.
There's a show called The Righteous Gemstones on HBO Max. Amazing show.
That's the one with the funny, super funny guy.
Yeah,
with the country.
Yeah,
I be seeing the clips.
Amazing show, but it's so true to life about how a lot of these mega church families, people, they don't really. It's all a money grab. They don't really be.
Sometimes it's just a money grab.
Not saying not all, but a lot.
No, so I'm saying sometimes
that show depicts because this family a hot mess. They be cussing and
sometimes it is a money. It's a money grab,
and it's like a lot of that permeates the church, and it's ridiculous.
So let me ask you, not to get into the whole, the whole conversation about church and organized religion and all that, but if I knew that an easy way to make money was to become a pastor, start a church, preach the good news of Jesus Christ, right? And do that and be real, like, yo, Jesus Christ, and just be real raw with it and not believe a single thing. How often does that happen? I'm sure it happens often. I'm just being honest. I'm sure it happens often, which is why, and then we can talk about one of these other ones, but which is why I believe that there's going to come the time when God deals with his church, and he's gonna wreck some shop with the people who call themselves.
But if those people aren't real believers,
so he gonna come in and be like, yeah, I'm separate. Me and you, we're gonna have some words. I believe that cleansing of the house is going to take place those people who are standing in those pulpits who claim to be Christians and who claim to be pastors, who have a higher level of responsibility for leading the flock, you're going to have a lot to answer to when you and Jesus are being face to face. When he comes to clean house, because you've led the sheep astray for your own personal gain. But anyway, that's enough.
What if they're not leading people astray, but they are not genuine?
If you're not genuine leading people astray, I don't think there's another way around that.
Still be like teaching from the Bible. They're not genuine, but like you said, they're doing it to make the money.
Yeah, nah.
And the more they lean into it, the more money they can make.
Because you know why? Because your doctrine starts to become wishy-washy, and you start to preach things that are good to hear and that tickle the ear, and that aren't really doctrinally, biblically grounded and
supported.
Yeah. I see. I can get this whole. Like, you see this book over here? You see what that book? See that book right there? What that book say? Systematic theology. Okay, that book is 1,000+ pages. I just got it a couple days ago. I gotta go. That's the book I'm reading.
Let me say this too. This is very prevalent to this podcast because a huge segment of Christian music is independent. Huge segment, because there's really no barrier to entry. If you talk about God, the church will accept anybody. If you're talking about Jesus, come on in. So I know now.
At first they didn't.
Now the music industry is really open anyway. But back in the day, especially for Christian artists, well, if for progressive churches, churches who understood, hey, the kids like it, whatever. You a failed rapper, mainstream? Let me go to Christian world because they gonna accept me. I could be whack.
Hobson did that.
If the message is right, come on in.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Did that. See, I don't know, but I ain't up on current. But my point is like, it's a relevant topic. So if y'all think it's not relevant, it's a lot of
it's 100% relevant.
A heavy percentage of the independent, especially hip hop independent, are quote unquote Christian artists. Sure. So don't think we just. Otherwise, I would have been say, all right, let's move on. But I know it's a big segment of
100%
independent artists. A lot of y'all do inspirational / Christian music. So
it's gospel / inspirational.
Right.
That's,
yeah. Shout out to BET.
Shout out to BET.
But that's another thing, though. That's another thing. I was gonna say earlier, I'm still not gonna really get into it, but it's so watered down now because you had the cross movement. They were like gun ho. Like now it's kind of like even the messages is watered down. Even the standards are watered down.
Yeah,
it really is. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm not saying that they were necessarily right to be so gun ho back in the day, but some of the stuff now is like, wow, you know, because it's like I said, it's a fine line. Like, oh man, we don't get into it because
maybe that's an episode we could do. Maybe we
remember when D1 and Lecrae was going at it.
Yeah.
You know,
and they both believers.
Like, and it's kind of like, I don't like D1 calling on people, but I do think he was kind of right with what he said about Lecrae. But again, we can talk about that a little later.
That's probably an episode we got to talk